Hello BookTube Nation, I'm Sam here again with the Bear and a Bee Books, and today I'm going to do an unboxing for you, because who doesn't love a good unboxing? So first things first, let's get this one here out of the way. I thought it was adorable. I picked up this little kind of foam cutout Noah's Ark book for my little girl, and this is called Noah's Ark Lift and Look. These are written and illustrated by David Miles, and some of the thing, like, it's really cute. The little elephant, like, it actually comes out, so it's adorable. This one was a little, like, you could definitely tell it was leftover. It was a little beat up, but I mean, I figure she's probably gonna try to eat it anyway, so it's all good, and it's really cute and foam, so it's completely safe for her to play with when she's small. Next, I picked up the Ringmaster's Wife by Kristy Cambron. Little fact about me, when I was small, the city I was born in, where my grandfather lived, was actually within walking distance to the circus. And so I know nowadays, like, there's definitely some controversies surrounding circuses, and you know, they don't really exist anymore except like in Vegas. When I was a kid, I absolutely was fascinated and mystified by the circus, especially since it was in walking distance to my family's home, and my grandfather used to take me often. I was in love with an elephant named Pete. I was convinced that we were best friends, and I used to go visit him a lot, and I was definitely very blessed to be able to do that. So when I heard about this, I think I heard about this from Squibbles Reads. I'm sure you all know about her. She's wonderful, and I'll link her channel below. But she did a whole video on like circuses or circus type books, and that's where I first heard about this. Next, this is an author I've been thinking of trying for a very long time. This is Melanie Dickerson, and this is, I believe, her second series featuring like fairy tale retellings, and this is the Huntress of Thornbeck Forest. From what I understand about this series, these are like a mesh of a bunch of different fairy tales, kind of like, it made me think of like Once Upon a Time, which I absolutely loved. The first, like, I don't even know, I think I watched like the first 5 seasons and was just enthralled with that show. This sounds really good, and I can't wait to read it. I hope that I like this series in particular, because she also has another one. Next, this is a book I've been waiting forever to pick up. You almost always buy YA in hardcover, so that's one reason I was kind of putting it off. I couldn't find a price that I wanted to pay for the hardcover, but I have some other books by this author and haven't picked them up yet, and this is Illusions of Fate by Kiersten White. I've heard really good things about this one. It's standalone as far as I understand it, and it just gets really good reviews. It seems different. It seems almost like, it reminds me of like divinations class in Harry Potter. And I am a big fan of crows and ravens as well on book covers, and there's some beautiful art here. I don't want to know too much about it. I just know that I think it has to do with some prophecies, and it's a little gritty, a little bit darker, so I can't wait to pick this one up. Next, I finally picked up the final copy for the trilogy of Frostlight Night. This is by Sara Raasch, and this is a Snow Like Ashes novel. I've read the first book. I haven't read the second book yet, but I do have it. But I really did enjoy the first book. Basically, if you haven't heard about this series, it's a YA fantasy trilogy that takes place in a world based on the 4 seasons, and one of the kingdoms has thrown over the other kingdom, and basically the people that are left in that kingdom are either slaves or outlaws, and they're trying to get back their kingdom. It was really good. I, as a reader, am really focused on settings. That really draws me into a book, and I felt that it was really well done in the first book of this trilogy, so I can't wait to finish it. Next, by A.J. Hartley, is Steeplejack. And this one, I don't remember which book it was, but I was on Goodreads, And you know how it has the if you like this, then you like this kind of feature. I use that all the time. That's how I find most of my books, if not through BookTube. This was one of the ones recommended for one of the books I enjoyed, and I found it on Book Outlet, and I was like, oh, look, it's meant to be. So I think this one is a little bit more steampunk, which I love, so I'm really interested in checking this out. Next is Midnight at the Electric, and this is by Jodi Lynn Anderson. I read, I have 2 of her books. I only read 1 so far, but I did read her Tiger Lily, and it's one of my favorite retellings. If you haven't read her yet, I recommend starting there. It is the only one I've checked out so far, but it gets amazing reviews. So I definitely wanted to pick this one up. But the book I have read by her, Tiger Lily, is about Peter Pan. It's a Peter Pan retelling told from Tiger Lily's point of view. It's heartbreaking. It's beautiful. I highly recommend it. And I hope that I'll be able to say the same about this one once I get into it. All right. And penultimately, I have The Fixer. And this is by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. Now, in college, I think I've mentioned it before on my channel, I was going to school, I was pre-law, I was political science major with a minor in criminology. I ended up getting into education for a while instead, but I really did enjoy studying politics and the philosophy behind it. So this actually sounded right up my alley. It's basically like, it almost seems like there's a lot of political intrigue, and this girl kind of, it says any problem can be fixed for a price. So she kind of works like as a spy, I think, like around the government, and she's there to take care of things that shouldn't be. And finally, the chunker of a book, I also picked up another final to a series that I have. Oh, that's really pretty. It's got like, I don't think you can see it on the camera, but it's got some filigree on the front with like a shield. That's really beautiful. This book it's the final book in a trilogy, and it got really good reviews on BookTube. It was really huge. I think it came out a couple years ago, and I've had book 1 and book 2 on my shelves forever, and I thought, well, let me go ahead and I'll pick up book 3, and that way if I want to fly through it, I have them all here on my shelves. So this is Beauty of Darkness, The Remnant Chronicles, and that's by Mary E. Pearson. So I can't wait to finally get to this trilogy. I hope now that I have all 3 that will go ahead and inspire me to give them a shot. So that's all I had for you today. The box is finally empty. I hope you enjoyed what you had to see here today. If you'd like to see more, please go ahead and click the subscribe button below. I'd love to have you back. And I'll also go ahead and link both my Twitter and Goodreads down below. Feel free to friend or follow me on either of those. And I hope that everyone has a wonderful day. Farewell for now. Bye-bye.